6v6 today. F1ABEEZ versus FGE Racing around Paul Ricard. It will be a short qualifying with 27 laps of racing. Run a little bit late when the F1ABEEZ boys just had to sort some stuff out, but we are all here now and we are ready to go. Right, and the start of qualifying begins. And it is dry. The last race that I commentated was last week, Imola. And it was very wet. There's about, I think, 3 minutes of qualifying where quite a few drivers went out actually and got lap times on the softs. A few actually missing out through invalidations, etc. But no, we are very, very blessed today with, of course, the dry weather in France. Very quiet in the pit lane. Is anyone going to come out today, or minute and a half in? Here we go, just as I say it. One of each. Mighty Jew coming out for a lap, and somebody else, part of FGE. Oh. Is it part of FGE? I don't know, but we're going to go with Mighty Jew, so we was the first one out. He's on the medium tyres now, so is anyone else going on the mediums? Oh, quite a few actually. 5 medium runners and a further 7. Yes, 7. Oh, actually, a couple more on mediums now. So it's 6 on softs. Obviously, they could still be changing, but yeah, it is 6 currently on mediums. 3 are on outlaps, so that is confirmed. Quiboldi for FGE is one of the only ones so far to come out on the soft tyre. Hopefully, this is going well. I've had a bit of inside knowledge that this could be a very, very, very tight race in terms of there will be battles all over the track. That's all we can hope for. Who knows? Could be a car crash turn 1 and that could ruin it, but we will soon find out. But turn 1 is very interesting. Of course, Paul Ricard has run off areas absolutely everywhere. Not much chance of hitting the wall, except from towards the end of Sector 2, the end of Sector 3. But here we go, Mighty Jew is the first one out, and is now the first one to set the first lap. Very close to invalidated now, I believe, but he's kept it. Very nice, using up all of the curb. Into the first main DRS zone. Well, one of two. The other one is of course on the pit straight. Into this right-hander as it goes up and then swiftly down the hill into the next sort of back straight, where quite a bit of overtaking will be happening through ERS and also slipstream advantages. Always very interested in one this the corner that Mighty Jew's just done, in terms of what some drivers take slightly different lines through there. Some tend to get on the throttle a bit earlier and sort of go a bit wider into that looper and then cut real tight on the curb. Others tend to keep it real tight through that looper and sort of really get that speed out the corner. And that is the first lap of 1:30.2. Who have we got next? Some from FGE, and it is a 1:30.9 from Tropical. I can see it happening already. I'm going to say from HSR, but the next one is Axel from FGE, a 1:30.1. So very tight between Axel and Mighty Jew on the first sort of laps that they are going to put in. Who have we got now? Hopes comes across, and that is his out lap, is it? Or yes, that was his out lap just finished. Sorry. So the next person to come across, I believe, is going to be not Mighty Jew because we've already spoken to it. Well, I've seen him. So it's Rambalorian is going to be the next person across. He's chosen the soft tyre. I don't think he's happy. I think he might have backed out of this one, and he has invalidated just recently. When I first looked at the map, he hadn't invalidated, but he has now. So we will go on to the next person behind, which is another F1ABEEZ car. Mighty Jew, but that's just on his in lap now. I believe that is. Here we go. So Riboldi, one of the soft runners. If he's made it work, he should. Or no, he is. I don't know what Mighty Jew was doing there. I don't know if that was you can't park there, sir. He is coming to the pits now. Trying to find anyone that's coming across the straight. And off Westy sets a 1:29.3 on the soft compound tyres. There is not a lot of difference, really. What is that? Maybe I can't see because it's purple on blue skies. It is 7-8 tenths between softs and mediums. So we get a couple more across now. I believe that was Hypes that just crossed the line there. 1:29.4. So the softs are very grip round card there. Ethan has invalidated his out lap. So we were going to go to the looping corner that I was talking about in sector 3, but this is Rambalorian who has invalidated again. I don't know if Tropical's on a lap, is he? Should we go to see Tropical? Yes, he is on a lap. He is going to be the next person to cross the line. Flat out through there. As he takes that wider line and then cuts in perfectly on the inside curb, and he is invalidated. Oh dear. Anybody on that? Yes, we have C110P fan. And he comes round the final corner. Doesn't invalidate on that last curb. And he comes across the line. Almost 1:30.3. So he puts himself 5th on the grid so far. Still 9 minutes to go, of course. So there will be a couple of laps coming for us. But who have we got as an F1ABEEZ car coming around? And it is Rambalorian. a little bit wide through there, but it's kept the speed up, and now he goes hurtling down to the final left-hander of the track. Round. Very nice indeed. Cuts back in on the final corner, misses the apex a little bit, maybe he lost a little bit of time through there, but he comes down the straight. 129, isn't it? Oh, it's a 130.0, and that puts him third on the grid. So far, F1ABEEZ have got 1, 2, 3 drivers, so they have locked off the front row and started the second row with Rambalor in there. But of course, there is 3 drivers of FGE that have yet to set a lap. So who have we got next? There is an FGE who is invalidated. FGE Ethan, who's currently 112, coming into this final left-hander. Interesting. He lost a lot of speed through that corner, but he has took the apex lovely. Comes across the line. That was his outlap, wasn't it? I was commentating on his outlap. It's been a long day. Always seems to be the case when I'm commentating on these esports races. Anyone on an actual lap? I'd love to know. We got this one. FG Cobaldi, who is on a lap. Who's the F1ABEEZ car in front of him? Rambalor in Bahias. Invalidated. So we're going to go to Cobaldi, who will be the next across the line. As Rambalor comes into the pits. Tries to give it everything as he comes in, and he will be a 129.9. So that puts him into third place after Rambalor knocks Axel off of the, I believe, fourth. Maybe I think he might have been even third place there, and then Rambalor went faster, and then Cobaldi went faster than that. As off Westy starts his lap, Valet comes in. About to set his first lap of the session. Had to do a little bit of adjustment there, which means he will lose out probably. He will stay. He goes faster than Ethan by 3 tenths. I have missed out on some laps. Who was this? So Maju starts his lap. Who else have we got here? On and out lap is P-Fan. Next lap. Which validates there on that curve, but comes round the first of the stadium sections. Maybe even get a toe off T110 P-Fan here. Very nice indeed. Look at that, and moves to the side. Oh, but he invalidates. Oh, that's so unlucky. The tactic could have worked, but unfortunately, he invalidates his lap. Clearly, Hypes desperately wants to be ahead of Westy in terms of positioning on the grid. As Harvey comes across the line, very slow. I don't think that was his lap that he wanted. This will be the one for him, I should imagine, as he takes turn 1 very well indeed. As he won his last race, the previous race at Imola. Forgive me, I have forgotten who the opposition were again, but I believe it was in the WERC tournament. As we have Axel coming across the line, will he go fast and sit? Yes, he will. He will put it on the front row and in provisional pole by some margin. 5 tenths, I believe, is in that. No, 6 tenths in that lap between Axel versus Off-Westy. Of course, Off-Westy is in the pits, so he may look to. I guess that was the start of a lap that I just heard go past the pit lane there. Then we go to Harvey, who will be the next across the line. kisses the apex lovely there, and then uses all of the exit curve to keep going through the corner. Dips left and then cuts in right very well. This is gonna be quite fast from Harvey. The 1:28.6, so he goes just under a 10 faster than Axel. The track seems to be getting faster and faster now. I believe Harvey might be going for another one here. Who have we got coming in? We've got Mighty Jew, who is validated. C11OP fan, who is also validated. Axel is 10 seconds slower, so it's not going to be his lap, unfortunately. I think maybe he might have looked to give Tropical a tow here, but he's come straight into the pits, so he is not interested in that one bit. Rambalorian is weaving. I think he might be looking to get that big lap in the next lap. Maybe he might be going into the pits. We will find out. So I think he might be doing a lap because he's slowing up to let the FGE get out of the way. No chance of him getting in the way of this lap. That's that FGE car crosses the line. Who is it? I think it was an out lap finishing. Problem is it doesn't say who it is. And I never noticed who it was either. But, never mind. As Rambalorian starts his new lap. I think we will watch Rambalorian on a full lap here. I don't know if someone's made contact there, and we're in sector 3. There's some partial yellows there. That is good that everyone's coming for a break on this. That would be them done for this session, except for the few others that are out on track. Just going to quickly tab through just to make sure these guys aren't on laps. Out laps. Who is the FGE car? And he is also invalidated. So we're going to go back to Rambalorian. Forgive me, I'm going to do it again. We're just going to make sure that we are not missing a lap sooner. Okay, we are actually, so it's a good job I checked. So, Vivaldi, we're going to watch him, and then we are then going to go back to Rambalorian as fast as we can. As he comes around into the last corner. 120 on the last corner apex. Will he go faster than 7? Looks like he might. Yes, he does. He goes third. And we're going to get a Rambalorian. And of course that ruins me. But Rambalorian is quick as well. He goes 6th fastest. So Vivaldi goes 3rd fastest for 1:29.0. Rambalorian goes 6th fastest for 1:29.4. All the faults there for Rambalorian. And they're all coming out now. Are they going to make it to the line? Where are they? Harvey is not going to make it. I think that's why he has given up. I don't think he's going to make it to start his lap. Axel again, another one I don't think is going to make it. Who is out? Mighty Jew, he's not going to make it either. Tropical probably won't. C11OP fan is going to be the only one to set a lap here, I think. That was qualifying finish. So yeah, the only person to set a lap is going to be C11OP fan, and he's got the whole track to himself. I believe so. If I've judged this correctly, I might be wrong. There's a couple of them are coming across the line. No, they're not. They are going into the pits. Anyway, C11OP fan, who has come out on a fresh set of softs. Well, maybe I was wrong. I do apologise, lads. Clearly, you can go out even after the session's finished and not cross the line. Fair enough. I was ever so wrong. But we're going to go with... No, I was right. There we go. So. It just took a bit of a time to get the checkered flags up onto the spectator board there. C11OP fan. Comes in. 120 on the last apex. This could be fast from him if he gets through those gears quick enough. Stays as straight as he can. And he goes 5th fastest. So we have got some people doing that. So no, we do not. That is finished. Yes, that is the session finished. So that is your grid lineup for the race this evening. It's Harley, who obviously was very, very strong last week, has put it on pole again this week. Then we have a FGE Axel, who is very closely followed. Then we have Off-Westy, who put in a 129.0. We have Cobaldi, who put in a 120.0 again. C11OP fan, who was the only one to notice that the time was running down, got out early enough to get a last lap in. He put himself P5, Hypes in P6, MyGG P7, 8 was Ramblorian, 9 was FGE Latifi, 10th was HSR Tropical, 11th FGE Ethan, and 12th was FGE Valet. So, as the last few cars just come into the pits, we should now have a completed qualifying. Mighty Jew finishes, there we go. So of course, I believe this is the old F1ABEEZ livery. Unfortunately I can't speak as to the FGE lads. I don't know when their season finished. But ours finished last weekend, maybe the weekend before. I've lost track of time, unfortunately. And yes, there could possibly be a new livery for these lads very, very soon. Which means this old livery will be changed. So this, I don't know if this is going to be the last time this livery is shown or not. But anyway, that is the end of qualifying. That is your grid lineup. There is 2 medium runners for the race, and the rest are all on softs. So just waiting on some players here. As we hopefully get underway in about 15 seconds or so for our laps around full record, we look forward to the race starting. Hopefully it can stay clean through turn 1 and all drivers survive. We will soon find out. Once again, I believe there is going to be a formation lap. There is indeed. There we go. 27 laps, and we will have our winners. As the pit stop strategies did come up there, I have missed it, but I can watch it on the playback. Possibly a 3-stop, or maybe a 2-stop running on hards on the end of the race. So the soft runners would hopefully be going soft, medium. Oh, that was a bit close between Harvey and Axel there. So the soft runners would be going soft, medium, soft. And the medium runners, I believe, would be then going medium to hard. So that would be the 2-stop. All drivers trying to get as much heat into those tyres as we look to line up on the grid once again. Harvey doesn't seem to be too worried because he knows that he will be waiting the longest. Seems that he is P1, so his tyres will be down and a bit colder than everyone else's, so you would think he would have wanted to get a bit more heat into them compared to everyone else, but clearly Harvey is doing a Kimmy today and saying no thank you, I know what I'm doing. But as they come round the last few corners, everyone has stayed fairly close together. There's a slight gap between, I believe, Cabaldi and C11OP fan, but the AIs take over now, so they are now going to reform on the grid. Lovely camera angles Codemasters are going to give us today, but this one isn't going to be a bad one, to be fair, hopefully from the start. That's a better one, we're going to go with this one. 5 red lights, help along, and away we go. Harvey gets off well, but has Axel got in front of him? Yes he has. A much better start from Axel as they come into turn 1. A lot of position changes. Everyone, I believe, is still clean, except from Ramblon, who has gone to the escape road. Hopefully he doesn't get a penalty for that, because that would be very unfortunate. So far so good for everyone else. Axel is leading, then Harvey, off Westy, and Cabaldi stay in the same position. Hopes and C101 OP fan have swapped positions. And then FGE, Latifi, Tropical, and Malay have taken spaces from Mandalorian as he goes down for 4 spaces from the start. We're going to stick with the race leaders for now, although there is quite a few battles on track already, beginning to form as Mandalorian gets past Ethan, although there is a problem. Ethan has spun it. Coming into sector 3, he has spun it on that right-hander up and down the hill. Harvey's looking to stay with Axel for as long as he possibly can. Hopefully not degrading his tyres too much. Because as we've seen from the strategies, tyre degradation is very strong around for the car. And let's have a look at what else we have going around. Hypes is very close to Cabaldi's back end of that FGE car. And he may look to do a move around the outside of turn 1. He is significantly ahead and he outbrakes him, leaves just enough room there, and he makes the move stick. Very nice from Hypes. What other moves have we got going on? Cabaldi might even be looking back on the end of Hypes again. Hypes is up 2 as C11OP fan and Cabaldi drop back to a place each. Not a bad start from Hypes at all there. Tropical also with another good start, and Valet with another good start, 2 places gained for each of them. And this is the massive toe you can get down this long straight. into this little chicane and then back on the toe in all the way down to that sweeping right-hander. Tropical was very close to Mighty Jew. Very, very close indeed. Tries to get around the outside, but Mighty Jew keeps the inside line. Tropical actually had to brake a little bit, but he's cut inside, and Mighty Jew, the space was there for both of them. Mighty Jew cuts back again with the momentum from the corner. Obviously Tropical had to slow down. There is the pit stop strategies once again for you if you want to have a look at those. So clearly the hards are not an option anymore. Clearly I was reading out the back of my mind now, I don't know. 3-stop or a 2-stop? Soft, medium, was it? Or something? I can't remember what it said now, that's unfortunate. Anyway, back to the battles on track. Latifi is gaining on Tropical, and that is the closest cars at the minute, other than Cavaldi and Hypes, but we can just about see them in the distance there as they come round the first chicane of Borcard. Well, Tropical goes a little bit too far across the white line and picks up the first penalties of, I'd imagine, many at Borcard, because it's very easy to take just a little bit too much speed into a corner or cut a corner up a little bit too much. So who else have we got? It is still very close. Cavaldi goes past Hypes. That toe really, really put him in favour there, but he does probably get a warning for that because he did cut that corner quite severely. Off West, he had to go to the escape road there. I don't know quite what for. And he's lost a significant amount of time to Cavaldi and also Hypes, who are now right on his tail. Tropical is on it on Mighty Jew. Oh, there is contact, and Tropical does nip a wheel inside Mighty Jew's rear right. And he does go around. Mighty Jew stays in a straight line. And Tropical loses a place to his teammate, FGE Latifi. Cavaldi is now very close to the back of Off-Westy now, with that error coming out of the chicane in the middle of Sector 2. Tropical has got damage. He is in the pits. I'd imagine there is a new front wing waiting for him. Let's have a little look, see. Couldn't see if I was a new front wing now or not, but Hypes is now gaining on Cavaldi. Ooh, a little bit too much adjustment there, but he has stayed with Cavaldi as Off-Westy hopes to look to get away from him. I don't know what tyre Tropical has decided to go on. I'd imagine a hard, right? Or maybe a medium, an early medium. We're going to go and have a little look. Oh, he's gone on to the hard. Yeah. As we see a move of Cavaldi on Off-Westy, cuts inside, quite close to the braking zone there from Off-Westy. Luckily there was no contact. Don't know whether they're going to have a look at that or not. I doubt it, but because as soon as there was no contact anyway. But he did seem to cut in front of Off-Westy there in the braking zone. Any other battles on track? No, this is the main one at the minute, so we're going to stay with it. Axel has done very well to stay with Harvey. Harvey has actually, I believe, taken that place back, so very well done for no, he hasn't. He has stayed the same. But that was the earlier little battle between them. Axel has gone back to the original position of P2. Hypes has been all over the back. Oh, Rambalorian is in the pits, so clearly he wants to come off of those tyres now. I guess he will copy Tropical's strategy of hard tyres to hopefully extend that middle stint till maybe very close towards the end, and maybe stick a set of softs on, do a 2-stop maybe, get a really racier tyre on towards the end of the race, but we will have to see on that one. Rambalorian and Tropical will be the people to watch for that possible strategy. Off-Westy does lose a little bit of time to Cavaldi there. As they get the toe down towards the left-hander up the hill, followed by, of course, the right down it. Ooh, and Hypes really outbraked out Off-Westy there, and he was almost pushing him around the corner. Hypes is hopefully going to slipstream Off-Westy and catch up, and they then will switch and work as true teammates and hopefully catch back up with Cavaldi in P3. What else have we got going on? Mighty Jew is very close to the back of C11OP fan here. And then, yes, again, there is another very close battle between, of course, C11OP fan is slowly gaining on hypes and also off Westy. And there is a train of F1ABEEZ cars coming down the home straight. And to get Latifi maybe. RS, of course, is enabled because it is dry. Valet and Latifi seem to switch position there. I don't know whether there was a fastest a car between the two of them. As Hypes is very close now to Off Westy. Maybe Off Westy might think about the team here and maybe let him go just for now, because he will slowly start to perhaps hold Hopes up here if he doesn't get a shift on. And the toe, this should bring, yeah, there we go, he's going to let him past. Hypes is now going to try and track down Quibaldi. As Valet is actually very close to Mighty Jew now because of that previous holding up of Off Westy and Hypes there. The toe is, so long as you can stay in that towing range, it is a massive, massive plus for Paul Ricard here. Those two back straights, you can just stay behind the car in front and just absolutely like use that slipstream all day. Of course, that will play dividend on your tyres towards the end of the race, but if you're going to look for a two-stop, that shouldn't really pay much of an effect for you. As Valet is now very close to the back of Mighty Jew. The gap seems to be staying fairly simple. Oh, and all of the F1ABEEZ boys are diving in. And also Quibaldi dives into the pits as well. So we're going to have Valet move up to P4 with Hypes as well. I don't think those, I guess those softs just weren't the fastest tyre. Yeah, all the softs are going onto hards. Yeah, the only people to stay out is Harvey, Axel, Hypes, Valet and Latifi, and Valet is a medium runner, of course, as we are watching now. We're going to go look to the back, as of course those two early pit stops were for Randalorian and Tropical. They are now right in the mix of all these F1ABEEZ cars. There is yellows. Why is there yellows? Why is there yellows, people? I'm going the wrong way. As Tropical spins it again on the hards. We're going to stick with this though, because this is a train of F1ABEEZ cars looking to fight their way back through the field towards the top spots. Harvey has actually lost a position. I missed that. Oh dear. To Axel there, I don't know what happened there, unfortunately. It must have happened fairly recently. As Axel does dive into the pits though, so Harvey will gain that place back, but maybe looking for the overcut on Axel here to try and gain that place back. As now these lads will look to probably maybe even get in front of Axel here, maybe at a push. Depending on how good their outlaps was on these hard tyres. Of course would have been slower than the softs that Axel was on, but he has already changed his tyres, as you can see from the screen, so he is on his way out. Will he get out before this massive train of cars, or is Harvey's overcut gonna look good? They're pushing. I think he is out in front of them all. Yes, he is. Very, very close though between him and his teammate. Of course, Off Westy is a little bit behind Quibaldi there, so it wouldn't have mattered too much, because I'd imagine Quibaldi would have let Axel straight back through again to try and catch up with Harvey on those fresher tyres. Axel is about 18, 19, 20, about 21 seconds in front of, behind Harvey, so that is just about a pit stop, I believe. Should really have a look at how long a pit stop is around a certain circuit before I start commentating on it, because that would be a very bit of valuable information. But anyway, as we look at Quibaldi, who is now gaining on his teammate, obviously 1 lap older hard tyres, which means they are warm and ready to race, and Axel is sort of just taking it a little bit cautious so far. Harvey now dives into the pits. Is this little battle between Axel and Quibaldi going to cause problems? I think Axel will be absolutely fine. I think he will get his place back on Harvey. See how much time is lost during his pit stop, because I think they're about 7 tenths off of each other. Harvey's tyres have been changed, so he is on his way out as well. I believe they are going to get in front of Harvey now. Both of them are. Oh dear, Harvey has got... Oh, it's very, very close. And Axel, of course, cuts across the line, and Harvey does actually leave a bit on Quibaldi there, and Quibaldi then takes out Harvey. Harvey cannot be happy with that. Hopefully Harvey can catch up with this train of F1ABEEZ cars to try and get back into this race. I don't know if Quibaldi was malicious there or not, but Harvey did absolutely nothing wrong. He stayed within the pit exit lines, and of course, to get the line through turn 1, they cut right across that channel from the pit exit to try and get right onto that rumble strip and take as much speed into that turn 1. I imagine the stewards are probably going to have a look at that, I expect, or maybe have a meeting between the teams. I'm not quite sure how it works, to be honest. It'll probably be a racing incident, I'd imagine, because it'll be hard to pin it on one driver. But Hypes does go past C11 open fan there, and so does Rambalorian actually. Rambalorian, of course, on the medium tyres because he swapped them out earlier. So Rambalorian will probably be looking at a medium, soft, medium, soft, maybe towards the end of the race. 4 laps of that. He pitted on lap 6, so yeah, probably a soft, medium, soft for Rambalorian today, which was not a bad strategy at all. You get a racier start and a racier finish, and a prolonged medium, middle stint. Where have we got some battles? Mighty Jew, of course, is keeping up with C11 open fan, staying in with, who is of course staying in DRS range of Rambalorian. Harvey does drop back right into 10th after that earlier mix-up with Quibaldi. He looks to be in an absolute... Oh, he does get a 3-second penalty there. That might just be a bit of a... I've lost my word now. A bit of annoyance and a bit of frustration after that tangle of Quibaldi. Quibaldi looks to make a move. Oh, does he? No, he does. He doesn't make a move on Axel. He stays behind his teammate. He looks to me like he's probably going to make a move fairly soon. Does he try it down the inside of this corner? No, he doesn't. You've got to make sure they don't trip over each other. Of course, they are the main lads at the minute. Valet will pit in a couple of, well, maybe 5 or 6 laps time, maybe a bit longer, depending on how well we can manage that set of mediums. So currently your leaders are Axel and Quibaldi, provisionally, of course, after Valet's stop. Off-West is very, very well done to catching up to these 2 lads from FGE Racing. Hopefully Hypes can slowly catch up with Off-Westy, and then there will be a big train coming into the work there. And then Rambalorian will then have DRS advantage as well on Hypes. Which means then there will be a massive train going on here around Port Ricard today. Off-Westy is now in... Is he just in the slipstream? Is he getting the benefit? I don't think he is. I think he's a little bit far behind, but Axel and Quibaldi make a move that they switch the 2, but he does break in front of Axel, which means it brings Off-Westy into contention here maybe. He gained two tenths on them both there actually. Latifi comes down the back straight. Does he get anything on Harvey? Harvey does very well to switch and gain that position on Latifi, but can he then perhaps have to defend against Latifi coming into the next set of corners? Latifi is on the medium set of tyres, and he will have better traction coming through these faster corners, as we do see Latifi getting a penalty there, but also Valet, I believe, getting a penalty, but I don't think you can serve it straight away, can you? So he is going to have that on him as well now. Later on in the race, does Cabaldi and Axel get in front of Valet as he comes out of the pits? Yes, they do. Will it off Westy? Yes, he will. Valet drops right down now to 7th, maybe. Yes, he does. C11OP fan does make the cut work, as Latifi does get past Mighty Jew there. That is just tyre advantage at the end of the day. Mighty Jew having to stop, put those hards on. I believe he got a bit of damage. Axel did cut the corner a little bit there as well. Maybe that was a warning for him. Off Westy maybe just dropping back a little bit. I think 6 tenths is not what it is, slowly gaining. He is gaining on them, so he is actually in the slipstream. So 6 tenths must be the slipstream on him, as he does outbrake Axel and Cabaldi. Of course, they get on the throttle much sooner than Off Westy do, and they soon sail further down the track. That's a clean corner from Off Westy there, really well using that inside curb to his advantage to take as much speed through. Have we got any? Latifi's gaining on Harvey still. Of course, Harvey has gained a place. Where has Harvey gained a place from? He was 10th. Was he not 9th earlier? I don't know. But there is now a train of 4 cars now. I think Valet is the first. No, sorry, C11OP fan is the first car. Then Valet, then Harvey. Harvey is slightly behind now. Latifi and Mighty Jew are all in contention of joining this massive train and making my life as a commentator much more exciting. Rambo has done very well to actually catch up with Hypes after going past C11OP fan. Good that they switched the cars around there, because Rambo is on a mission here, acting like prime Rambo to try and get right up the field and catch up with the leaders, as he really is gaining on Hypes, just purely that slipstream and DRS. The F1ABEEZ boys are in a trio looking to hunt down the leaders here. Very exciting. Mighty Jew does pick up a 3-second penalty, and Hypes goes past Off Westy finally on slightly newer tyres, and now Hypes is now looking to try and catch up with FGE Axel. Off Westy staying with him though, which is good. Keep that train alive, boys. Cabaldi and Axel are both on. Oh, and there is a problem. Who is it, you might ask? It is Latifi, who has spun. I don't know whether there was any contact or not, but Valet has also spun as well in the same sort of area of the track, which means now we have all of the F1ABEEZ cars in a massive long train, as Harvey does nip into the outside of a C11OP fan there. Hopefully a good recovery drive from Harvey coming up here. Hypes gets a 3-second penalty here for cutting a corner. Like I said earlier, it's probably quite inevitable there will be a fair few penalties around Porticard. Yeah. Cabaldi actually did go a bit off the track there. I don't know whether that was trying to break the toe of his teammate. I don't know. But, didn't keep it in a straight line. Did it? Now Hypes has actually really lost a bit of time to the leaders here. But Rambo, Off Westy and Hypes are all fairly close together. If Harvey can put in a great drive and try to catch up with Rambo as those mediums do start to wear off, the hards will stay fairly strong, and he might be able to catch up slowly across a couple of laps. Hypes is now less than 9 tenths, 8 tenths, something like that, off of these leaders, as he does outbrake them into the final corner. And Rambo is coming to the pits. He's not like those medium tyres. Just as I was saying, they might be going off, they do go off, and he now wants to change it. Put another set of mediums on now by the look of it, so medium to finish the race off. Rambo is looking at a 2-stop to finish the race. Did Hopes cut that corner a little bit? That'd be probably another warning. FGE then gets a warning as well. Again, more corner cutting, but brilliant exit from Hopes. Looks to have Axel all in a spin here. Does slowly come across the track there, Axel does, just to maybe try and get Hopes a bit unwary about the overtake, but Hopes sails past him. Ascobaldi now also does look to be struggling a little bit as well. Harvey gets a 3 second, which I believe puts him up to 6. We'll have a little look at some penalties here. Yes, it does put Harvey up to 6. Unfortunately, it's looking very unfortunate for Harvey after that earlier tangle with, I believe, Cabaldi, who does lead this race. Axel is keeping up with Hopes though. Off Westy has dropped back a little bit. Will probably get DRS. Will he? No, he won't. Well, he might have done. It was very tight in that detection zone there. As this, I'm going to have a little look at the telemetry. No, he did not get it. That is very unfortunate for him there. And we have another spin. Who is it this time? It is Tropical once more. You have to be very careful around here not to spin off, but Harvey goes past C1OP fan. Now up into 5th place for Harvey. Harvey's pretty much praying that the cars around him that are on the other team do get a few penalties here and there. Another spin. Who is this? Oh, that might have just been a slight problem in the pit. Oh, he does lose a front wing. Does he? Tropical as he comes into the pit lane. Ethan finishes the race. He has had enough. As Axel comes sailing past Hopes. Will Hopes try and catch up with him now? Let's go back to the tyre screen. Hopes is on ever so so Tropical's had enough as well. So there's two FGE boys that are out of this race, down to retirements. And I believe the Tropical car has actually come back out onto the track, has he? Yes, I believe he has. So that may have problems in terms of a safety car, maybe, because he is absolutely crawling around the track. So that may cause some problems for everyone else. Hopes is trying to stay with Axel. Currently, I think the F1ABEEZ boys do get this on points just simply because of the amount of F1ABEEZ drivers in the slots from 3 to 7. I think that does eventually cancel out the 1st and 2nd place. Where is this car? Has it stopped? No, it's still going round. It's going to go round again to the pit lane. It's not going to stop anywhere on track. Ramblorian sets the fastest lap of the race there, 1:31. I wonder if Gribaldi got DRS from that Tropical car or not. I don't think he did. That will be probably some repercussions for Tropical and the FGE team due to retiring on track. Technically he was in the pit lane, but yeah, probably didn't retire before the new set of tyres went on, which therefore caused the car to come back out on track. What is happening in sector? Has the car maybe got in the way a little bit there, or did he just go through the ghost of Tropical? Yeah, it's a ghost of Tropical, so it's not too bad. May or may not just put him off a little bit, but they'll soon realise it's a ghost and just sail on through. 10 laps to go now, so we are sort of maybe 2/3 of the way through almost. And I have now run out of drinking water, so my throat will now be getting very dry with all this talking, but never mind, we will stay with you. Tropical's car will probably go into the pits now, so that will be the only time that it will cause a problem. As Hopes is looking to try and gain on Gribaldi and Axel, who are very close together. They all have DRS on each other, of course. Off Westy just over 2 seconds behind all of them, who is on older tyres as well, so he will probably be coming in at the same time as Gribaldi does, if they do come in on these hard tyres. DRS and also the slips. Oh no, would it be would DRS be in use because of the yellow flags? So it must be, surely. No, maybe it isn't. No, it's not because of the yellow flags. But it's in sector 3, so I'm not sure on that one. But there didn't seem to be any DRS opening for Axel or Hypes there, so very confusing. But anyway, they are a lot closer together now as Harvey now gets back on the throttle up the hill. Very close indeed. Does he look at the inside of Axel there? He ran a bit wide up the hill. More yellow flags. Is Troffel coming back out on the track again? I believe he might be, everyone. I do not know what is happening with that car. At this point, I don't think it can be Troffel's fault. Because, of course, he retired once, so, you know. Oh no, we have got now DRS. Does Hypes look at a move on Axel? He goes to the inside. No, he doesn't. He fakes it. Oh, almost pushes Axel around the corner. Similar to what happened with Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen. The drag on and Tropical now finally decides, oh, I've had enough now, and pulls over to the side at the end of sector 1. Yeah, going back on what I was saying, the drag is so vital. Well, not vital. That's the word I'm trying to look for here. It does absolute wonders, the drag reduction system, and of course the slipstream as well. So if a car in front of you does brake ever so slightly more than you do, you can very easily get the back of that car, like what happened in Baku between the two Red Bull drivers, in real life of course. But now does Hypes look at a slipstream on Axel here? More yellow flags, what's happening? Latifi has spun. Once again, Axel goes very wide, but then obviously the wider you go, the earlier you can get on the throttle 9 times out of 10. So he does get on the throttle a bit earlier and just minimise that gap between him and Hypes. Offes, he does seem to be slowing down quite a bit. He's now 3.2 seconds behind Hypes. I think those hards just aren't a tyre to be trying to minimise gaps on, really, when everyone else is on hards around you. There we go, look, once again, the braking almost caused a problem there, but Hypes managed to brake just inside before rear-ending the back of the FGE car. Looks at the inside there of the chicane. Maybe trying to force Axel wide and make him cause a mistake. As Latifi comes into the pits on those mediums, looking to maybe change them to maybe a set of softs actually. A set of softs might just go, a new set of softs. I believe Harvey will have yes, Harvey has DRS on Axel here, and Axel doesn't have any to defend. And Hypes does send it up the inside of Axel there, and now that DRS advantage does then bring him closer to Grimaldi, and now Axel, of course, is very close behind Hypes, with possible DRS advantage coming down the straight. As Latifi might even... Nah, he won't get in the way of him here, will he? As these guys come through the slower margin of the track, I don't think he'll have a problem. Grimaldi may or may not have been drifting around that corner there. I don't know if the back end went or not, or whether that was just a little bit of a lag or delay or something on video feed. But now in a sandwich of FGE cars, looking to even take the lead of this race. On slightly newer tyres between the three drivers is Hypes, but it's not an awful lot, one lap in it. Again, once again, sat in a tyre sandwich as well as a position sandwich. Latifi gets another 3-second penalty. Unfortunately, not looking great for him. 31 seconds behind 9th, and also now having a penalty as well. Let's look at some more penalty data. Latifi is on a 6-second, and C11OP fan Harvey is also on a 6-second, and Latifi is as well. But again, got hiccups now. CC1OP fan, of course, is in a margin where he will go above Harvey if it stays the same. Hypes now really looking at the back of Grimaldi, gets on the throttle a bit earlier than Grimaldi does. He looks very in a racing mood tonight. As Valet does get past CC1OP fan, but they are looking to... Oh no, maybe not. I thought they were side by side there. Hopes is now... Oh, more yellow flags. What has happened now? Oh, Latifi's spun again. That is such a shame. Anyway, back onto the main battle. Ooh, does Hopes almost lose it? Has he brought Axel into contention here? Now side by side. Axel does get past Hopes after that previous mistake from Hopes, but it didn't really cause much of a problem. He did lose a position, but that does mean that he can use a DRS advantage, I believe, on Axel. But Axel did get it on Hopes earlier on, so they will be now just chasing down some time on Cavaldi, who is in P1, who has no DRS advantage, because obviously he is in front of everyone else. Who else we got? We got Harvey gaining on Off-Westy here, actually. Hopefully Off-Westy lets him go. If he does, that would be very, very nice of a teammate order. Because thanks Harvey is looking to maybe even catch up with maybe even Hopes towards the end of this race. I believe he is on fresher tyres than everyone else. No, he's not. He's actually on the same amount of laps on those hard compound tyres, but he will sail past Off-Westy. Yeah, I'd imagine Off-Westy will just move out of the way. Yes, he does. Look at that. Very nice. Hopes is once again right on the tail of Axel, hopefully to maybe even get that position back when Axel seems to take this very odd line. If he can send the car at the inside of that slightly wider line from Axel, he might be able to take this position back. This is where it will happen. This next corner, will it happen now? No, it will not. He's going to stay behind him. We've got yellows on the pit straight. I think that might just be him coming into the pits, is it? Yep, that is Latifi. He has had enough. He is DNF'd as well, which means there's only 3 runners for the FGE boys. There's a big DRS advantage being used here by Hopes. He must have a lot more ERS as well, because he's going to send it down the inside. Oh, and Axel is forced wide, but it's clean between all of them. Oh, and Hopes does almost lose it there. More yellow flags. What is happening? Mighty Jew has spun it. Just keep racing, mate, because currently as it stands with the amount of drivers in, I think the F1ABEEZ boys will take this fairly easily due to the amount of DNFs from the FGE boys. C11OP fan may even, well, he will be ahead of Valet if this stays the same. With 4 laps to go, this race has soon flown by. This is the only real battle. Has Hopes recently got that penalty, or is it a 3 second, or is it a 6? Has he had another one since then? He's a 3 seconds, and maybe he got that towards the end of sector 3 there. That might just cause a problem for him, unless he can get into some clean air and really make a move on these boys. But Cavaldi may have lost a bit of pace here now. Axel does seem to be right up behind him. Mighty Jew has another 3 second penalty or corner cutting, I'd imagine. And here comes Hopes. He's outbrake the pair of them. Can he stay in that slipstream? Yes, he can. He is now gaining on Axel once again. Let's have a look at how much ERS he has managed to save across this. Oh, he's got 22%. And Axel has 16. Oof, Grimaldi is losing an awful lot. So, currently, Hopes is in the best position here. He has got the most DRS to maybe use down the straight with the DRS as well. Now all over the back of Axel here. and Axel's, I don't know whether he locks up or not, I don't know if that's a thing, I don't know whether it will show me or not, but he seems to go a bit wide in the last corner and maybe gets Hype's interested in a move into turn 1. No, Hype's decides to stay behind and not risk anything too soon. He's still keeping up with Axel now. And now the long straight that Hypes will be able to hopefully gamble on, because Axel was just a little bit far out of the chance of getting a slipstream off of his teammate Grimaldi. But he does get the DRS. Maybe he was late on opening it there, but just manages to stay in front of Hypes here. Hypes really needs to get in front of these cars now if he's got any chance of winning this race, just so he can try and build that gap and try and get ahead of one of these drivers. Looks at the inside. Ooh, he has to pull out of that move there. Hopefully he doesn't lose too much time, but Axel defended that very well. Left him plenty of room, but of course we're in a position to try and get in front of him there, and he was not anywhere near the car length that he needed to be to have the right to go up the inside of him there, as both of them have DRS advantage on Grimaldi, but Grimaldi's done a very good job of leading this race as well. Seems to use his DRS just when he needs it to try and stay away from Axel and also Hypes, as they have the DRS advantage on him, using the ERS to combat the DRS. As we have only 2 laps of this race remaining, FGE Valet seems to be in a triple breaded F1ABEEZ sandwich in the middle of the pack there, who is on 8 seconds of penalties, which means C11OP fan will cruise past Valet, and yeah, I don't think Rambo's going to be in contention now, unfortunately. Bit of adjustments. Oh, and Hypes loses his front wing. Oh dear me. But maybe pushing a little bit too hard there to try and keep up with Axel. As Thanks Harvey does go into 3rd place. I don't know whether Hypes is going to pit now. I think he might have to, because he's really struggling to get around. But he has got a 4-second gap, so maybe he'll just leave it as it is. But obviously, off Westy will have no penalties so far, so maybe he will get ahead of Hypes, but it all depends what Hypes wants to do. Will he stay, or will he go? Will he go into the pits, or will he stay out and just firm the last lap with no front wing? I can't imagine he'd be too happy doing that, so I'd imagine he's going to come in. Is he? No, he's not. He's going to stay out on the last lap just to firm it, basically. I guess he just thinks, well, if I can try and stay within 6 seconds of Harvey, I will gain that position that I lost back. So whether he can do that or not, that'd be an interesting thing to keep an eye on. It's already up to 4 seconds. Harvey knows it too. He is really pushing now on this final lap. The FGE boys get the 1-2. Does Grimaldi let Axel pass here? Is he going to gift him the win? That is very nice team play there. Maybe this might be Axel's first win. I don't know either of the pair, but that is very nice from Grimaldi there, letting his teammate get a win. Off Westy does go past Hypes with no front wing. And Valet is actually here as well now, but of course Valet has 8 seconds worth of penalties. And he does give Hypes a bit of a shove there, actually. Of course Hypes has no front wing, so rather slow, but he's going to keep it, and Valet will not get past him. Hypefully Valet doesn't dive down the inside, because it'd be very stupid. He does. Pushes C11OP off the track, and he's now going to try and dive down the inside of Hypes as well. A little bit silly from him there, really, because he's not really racing those drivers because of those 8 seconds worth of penalties. Not very sportsmanlike, but at the end of the day it is racing. As Axel does, I believe, cross the line. Yes, he does. Great win from Axel. Gifted from Grimaldi, may I say, but very nice from those two. As then Harvey crosses the line as well. believe he will get P3 there, Harvey. So that is a very good recovery drive after... No, he will not. He will not get P3. He's going to fall back to 5th after those penalties there. Valet gets an unserved 5-second penalty as well, so he will drop down. And last but not least is Mighty Jew, who is 9th, finishing 9th. He was 33 seconds behind, he was on the softs, but not a bad race from the F1ABEEZ boys at all. But the win does go to Axel and Quibaldi. Sorry, Axel and Quibaldi. Axel gets the win, followed closely by Quibaldi, who was 6/10 behind. As we hopefully now see Mighty Jew cross the line. And that was the race today, F1ABEEZ versus FGE Racing in the TORC tournament, 6v6. With that, the driver of the day was FGE Valet, and that is it. And now we look at the podiums. So total points was 54 points to F1ABEEZ and 42 to FGE. Almost forgot it, that would have been embarrassing. So we have got a very, very mixed podium finish there with, I believe, a Belgian, a French person winning at his home Grand Prix. That was very nice to see. Maybe that was why Quibaldi gave him the win. Off West he'd finish in P3. P4 was C11OP fan. P5 was Harvey. P6 was Hypes. P7 was Valet. P8 was Rambalorian. P9 was Mighty Jew. And 3 DNFs was FG Latifi, HSR Tropical, FG Ethan. And that is the end of this evening's action. Like I said, the F1ABEEZ boys take it on points. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. And to all you guys that were here from the start, thank you for staying so long. This is the end of the stream, so thank you very much.